ganda agad ng unang sabak ng tanong dito from Johan. Sabi, sa sobrang kapal ng mukha mo, paano ka makakatawag pansin sa Upwork? Sabi nga hindi. Sa sobrang kapal na competition sa Upwork and Fiverr. All around the world, how else can you get hired as a freelancer? What a beautiful question, Mr. Johan. And welcome everybody to another episode of Flip Chat and Chill, where we get to bring people to talk about the ins, the outs, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the beautiful of freelancing. And today our topic is, Anna,
juggling multiple jobs, what new freelancers need to know.
What new freelancers need to know. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, I think marami sa inyo itong mga may mga karamihan sa inyo mga nakapasok na. If you have opinions about this, then I think freelancing is life-changing to a lot of people. Then how about you let us know on the comment section down below kung ano ang nagbago sa inyo, what you thought you knew, and nung sumabak kayo sa freelancing, parang ay iba pala. So that is what I want us to talk about today. What new freelancers need to know. Pero bakit nga ba ito ang pag-uusapan natin, Anna?
May mga kasi bagong freelancers na ang ganda ng problema di ba? Yung pag sa umpisa na nakahanap na ng first client, pag nakahanap na ng first, sunod-sunod na. So yung iba, natatakot na, or parang may problem na, teka lang, kaya ko pa ba? 2, naging 3, naging 4. So yun, bibigyan natin sila ng tips kung paano nila i-handle yung iba. Kung marami ka ng clients na nare-receive at gusto mo nang i-decline. So, ano yung mga dapat gawin, kung dapat bang i-decline, or kung ano yung dapat gawin para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pagtanggap ng clients kahit madami na. Diba? So, yeah.
Ooh, I love that scenario. Sana all, sasabihin ng karamihan ng mga hindi pa nakapasok sa freelancing, mga hindi pa nakaland ng mga first clients nila dyan, sasabihin nila, sana all. Pero, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, especially sa inyong mga hindi pa nakaland ng first client, you need this information. You know why? Mabilis ang transition. Pag once na nakaunang client ka and then meron ka ng review, pag once na meron na yun, in many cases, the job offers will be overflowing. Meron ng mga lalapit sa'yo kasi you exist in the freelancing world already. They already see that you performed well. Nakakapanibago kasi pag minsan you might make mistakes just like us na yung tanggap na lang ng tanggap to the point na hindi mo na pwedeng i-accommodate itong isa, mas maganda itong isa kesa sa naunang tinanggap mo. How are you going to do that? How are you going to manage that? So you need this information, ladies and gentlemen, whether you already landed a contract or not. Pero sana all, of course naman, but anyway, we got our panel here, Mr. Carl Mark F. Carandang and Reese Marimla. Dalawa lang po ang mga kasama namin. Bulabugin nyo si Carmi, bakit dalawa lang ang kasama natin dito sa panel? But before we go to our panel tonight, ladies and gentlemen, pakilagay din naman kung saan kayo nanonood ngayon, and Anna will greet you.
Yes, i-greet natin ang ating mga viewers. Si Sherry Ann watching from Kuwait, si Jeline watching from Batangas, Edmond Baluyot Estudillo watching from Saudi, Marie Roberts, hello, Aji Lopez from Bacoor, Cavite, si Maury Roberts from Jansan, Sheena Rivera from Rizal, Johan DG, sa sobrang si Ina pala, na-mention mo na kanina to. Si Jelen, Gibaga, Rubelin, good evening sa'yo. Si Rachel Mon Espanyol from Cainta, si Ella Kitts watching from Nueva Vizcaya, at si Amira Sanfi, sabi niya, ano pong magandang sabihin sa clients kapag magde-decline ka kasi marami ka pong clients na, marami ka pong clients na right now, di mo na kaya. Okay, mamaya balikan natin tong question ni Amira. At si Gibaga Rubilin from Taguig City, Mabel, ano ba yan? Mabel Costudio Moraga from Bataan. Si Rosemary from Makati. Ayan, good evening sa inyong lahat and stay tuned lang until the end ng ating show.
Nice. So there are two extreme questions that showed up. Merong pangatlo pero sandali, let me entertain the two questions first. The first question is, sa sobrang dami ng competition, paano ka makipagsabak sa gera? Paano ka sumali sa gera? And sa sobrang dami naman ng mga kalaban, which are beneficial kalaban, yung mga yung mga clients, paano man naman sila i-handle? Sabi naman ng isa. Okay, so those are two extreme situations that freelancers would have to deal with. Let me start with how does one end up with multiple clients? Paano ba nangyayari yan?
Siguro for my own experience, sir, is unang-una is you apply multiple times, syempre. So as a newbie, kasi ako kino-consider ko sarili ko as newbie kasi nasa 1 year pa lang po ako as freelancer. And nung time na nagkaroon ako ng multiple clients, yung time na sunod-sunod talaga yung applications ko. So for OLJ, binamaximize ko yung 10 applications per day. Inuubos ko talaga yon hanggang may mag-reply. Then for Upwork, doon ako naging selective kasi may bayad siya for connects. So for OLJ, quantity, for Upwork, quality naman yung hinahanap ko doon. So kung marami kang chance, parang yung sinasabi natin, more chances of winning, kumbaga. So more applications, then mas malaking chance na magkaroon ka ng multiple clients in the future.
Oh, yeah. I think that happened to me before. Yung hindi naman ako 10 times a day mag-apply noon dahil panahon 'yun ng Odesk eh. Panahon ng Odesk times pwede ka pang mag-apply kung gusto mo. So yeah, I think that happened to me before na yung matagal ka ng gutom dahil wala kang client, tapos biglang meron ng magi-interview sa'yo sa, let's say, Wednesday. And then, akala mo yun na yun. So papayag ka, it's good, meron ka ng trabaho. And then the next day, meron na namang isa. The next day, meron na namang isa. And it starts to become overwhelming. I love that scenario, Mark. And that's realistic. I like that. Reese, what about you? What do you think is the reason why a lot of our freelancers, especially the newbies, end up with a massive amount of invites?
The same with Sir Carl po. For a beginner, it's either you sent out too many applications or dahil maganda nga yung mga online profiles mo and maybe your cover letters, you got a lot of invitations naman. Like you don't really need to apply, but they're coming for you. Like they're inviting you to apply. And ayun nga, for beginners yun lang naman talaga yun. And as Miss Anna mentioned earlier, yung ibang beginners kasi, kapag madami silang nakukuha mga invitations, parang nasasayangan sila. Or parang the same with the situation of Sir Phoenix, na kapag para kasing kapag ang taga-tagan mo nag-a-apply tapos walang pumapansin, eventually may pumansin sa'yo, tapos akala mo yun na tinanggap mo siya, and then the next day, parang yung mas gusto mo yung pumansin sa'yo. So you end up like accepting everything. Kasi nga, the same with earlier, nasasayangan ka na mawala siya. So I think that's how employees end up with multiple jobs nowadays po.
Nice. That's a very realistic scenario, ladies and gentlemen. Kaya mag-ingat tayo sa ganyan. Honey, hi! Buti naman nakaladkad ka ulit ni Miss Anna.
Biglaan na naman.
As in, parang 3 minutes ago lang.
Ano sabi ni Anna? Honey, halika dahil wala na.
Oo, ganyan. Ganyan ang message ko. Halika dito, be. Walang guest.
I love it. Okay.
Tanong, command siya.
Oo, be, sumali ka. Ganon. Hindi pala invitation, sumali ka.
Hindi na siya. Oy, busy ka ba? Pwede ka bang sumali? Hindi. Halika na.
Naman,
Ngayon na.
Pero kahit naman sabihin ko busy ka, binigyan niya pa rin yung link. So parang more choice but to join.
Oh my goodness. So there you go, honey. Ang nasabi kasi na scenario is because one of our audiences asked, how do you stand out sa sobrang dami ng competition, which is a very normal question. It's a respectable question because a lot of the newbies still do not know how to stand out. Ngayon, sometimes you end up submitting multiple cover letters to multiple clients, and then you end up with multiple invites because of that. How does one deal with that? Especially sa pinakauna, of course, it is very exciting, right? It's exciting kasi meron ng job dyan. So, naturally, susunggaban mo yon dahil feeling mo yun na lang ang mag-a-approve sa'yo. Is it better for newbies to be a bit more cautious and wait? Or okay lang ba na basta pumayag sila doon sa pinaka-first na invite sa kanila, response sa kanila?
Very good question, Phoenix. It's
Thank you for that wonderful question.
Thank you for that wonderful question, Phoenix. It's really, you know me, Phoenix, in words. It's the way clients speak to you. Very particular ako and meticulous ako pagdating sa mga ganyan. So yes, I will do my best to attend all of those. Kung halimbawa, kung 10 man silang interviews, I will attend all of those interviews. And then, so parang yung collection and selection. So I collect all of those interviews, and then after that, I select which client resonates with me. Ako mismo not because nauna si client na nag-reply sa akin. It's not that. It's more of, can I get behind this client with his or her business? Do they convey a message that I can be proud of backing? Parang ganon. So those are one of the things that I will look into. And then titignan din kung how this client manages a freelancer. So yun nga, mabait ba siya? Mapapatawa mo siya? Mapapabiro mo? Kasi si Ana, magaling yan mang-hero sa client. And ang budol ng client. So, kung mga ganyan na nabubudol mo yung client mo, hihiritan mo ng bonus. Ayan, si Ana magaling sa mga ganyan. So, sige, go for it. And the next question that you asked, should the freelancer be cautious? It really depends on the freelancer and their personality and how well they can spend their time management. Ito yung pinakamahalaga because when I started out, I already had 3 or 4 clients in one go. And kaka-start ko lang. That's because I was able to segregate my time and do time blockings. If you feel that you will not have a hard time to do that, then go for it. Don't limit yourself. Pero kung feeling nyo, mapapasabak kayo, wag nyo nang i-attempt. You know it within yourself. There are some people that can go, kaya ko to. You know, like they have that can-do attitude and they can really, take the risk and jump. And there are some that are yung parang medyo may pagkatimid na baka hindi ko kaya to. Gusto ko, pero baka hindi ko kaya. And mga ganyan, yung tipong alanganin ka, don't go for it. That's all I can say. Trust your gut instincts. If you can go. Think you can fly? Go. If you can learn on the fly, then better. Di ba? Pero if not, be cautious. Yeah.
I like what Hani said here, ladies and gentlemen, kasi the life of a freelancer is fluid. Wala tayong masasabi na, eto na ang gagawin ko for the rest of my life. You cannot really tell because times change. Clients change. Even clients themselves, even businesses themselves change. You know that dahil ang business merong rise and fall. I.e., COVID, isa rin yan sa mga umapekto sa buhay natin. So you cannot really tell, you cannot really predict, and you cannot even say, this is permanently what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. The life of a freelancer is very fluid. Kailangan mo mag-adjust. So you need to develop this skill of flexibility. Now, yung sinabi ni Hani na, kung gut instinct mo is to say yes, then go for it. It's nice to have that attitude, provided na once na may kailangan mag-adjust ka. You see, the problem, ladies and gentlemen, with sinusunggaban yung unang offer sa'yo, which I do understand. We understand. Gutom tayo eh. Kailangan natin ng trabaho. So kung meron, lalo na kapag ikaw yung tipo na isang buwan na nag-a-apply, wala pang nangyayari, tapos all of a sudden merong offer sa'yo, then yes, of course, you would definitely want to get that. Dahil gusto mo na magtrabaho na, now na. Gusto mo magkasahod na, now na, as much as possible. The problem with that, ladies and gentlemen, is marami sa atin itong they end up after, let's say, a week or so, they end up complaining. Dahil, syempre, you didn't know na masungit pala itong client na ito or ang dami pala mga pinapatrabaho sa'yo out of the contract, yung mga ganon. We are usually blindsided by an offer. The first offer, most especially. Kaya you have to be a bit more careful. Follow your guts nga, sabi ni Honey. Magpahinga ka ng konti. Take a breather and assess if yung tono ba ng response letter, kasi di ba meron kang cover letter, di meron ding response letter si client. Yung tono ba niya sa response letter niya, is it good? Now, if you went through a one-on-one interview, was it good? Was it good for you? Do you feel like this client is the person whom you'd like to work with? It would have been okay, ladies and gentlemen, kung parang parang 4 hours lang, 2 hours lang, or contractual lang that hindi magtatagal. Ang mahirap dyan kapag nagkataon na ilalagay mo sa contract mo na that you are going to work full-time. You have to be a bit cautious with that. Kasi masarap dahil full-time, right? Yun naman ang gusto ng karamihan. Pero paano kapag nagkataon na yung client mo hindi hindi mo makakasundo after all. So yan, yung sinabi nga ni Honey, you have to be very meticulous with the words placed there dahil doon pa lang mararamdaman mo na kung masungit si client o hindi. So let's go to the after effect naman. The after effect of sending multiple applications. So, nandyan na tayo, nagkataon na ang dami na nating mga naipon na mga job interviews or response letter from clients. It becomes overwhelming already. Now, naturally, pumayag ka sa mga interviews para nga ma-assess mo si client if these are the people you want to work with. And out of the 10 invitations, you will have to decline 9 of them. Let's see. Reese, ikaw nga muna. How do you decline the 9 clients out of 10?
For me naman po, sir, from my experience from receiving a lot of applications, parang the same din kasi as a beginner, sinunggaban ko agad yung mga unang offer sa akin because I was really scared. And it did happen from what I shared last Wednesday. There was a time I wasn't applying and I was getting a lot of applications. But then nung ready na talaga ako mag-apply, that was the time that I wasn't getting anything anymore. And as a beginner, like everyone here na mga freelancer na beginners, they're all scared that if they let go of one client, they wouldn't get another na, or parang shit, sayang, ayun na yun eh, sayang kung sinayin ko na lang sana siya. Pero like as what I've learned, also from a point of view of a hiring manager before, I think as freelancers, we also can request at least for the client na parang if yung iba kasi they would say na I would give you like 24 hours to get back to me and sign this contract. But then the others naman, you could always negotiate na can I at least have 2 days to decide, parang ganyan. Or you can tell them like I have an offer already. Kung yung interview mo is na-set siya parang let's say a week pa, tapos nagka-offer ka na talaga and you wanna know what the offer is muna dun sa other invitations mo, you can try to negotiate with your other clients and say na, can we have the interview earlier since I got an offer. Yung iba naman kasi, they would agree if like they see your worth as an employee. Parang kung maganda nga yung online profiles mo and naiisip nila na pwede kang maging kawalan if another client hires you, pwede nilang i-adjust yun eh. Pero ayun nga, since beginners tayo, the others would not really, like, hayaan ka lang nila, hindi ka din nila papansinin. So I guess we come back to what Miss Honey said earlier. Let's just be cautious with clients we work with. I think, not all clients are worth your time. And yung iba naman, they would say na, paano ko naman malalaman kung mabait yung client? Interview pa lang naman yun. You would know it. You would know in the conversation while you're discussing the contract, or I guess for me, kapag kinausap mo yung client, understand who the client is as your boss and understand your job responsibilities. Because for me, it's a balance eh. Parang I wanna work with a nice client, and at the same time, I wanna be doing what I really want to do. Parang ganyan. So while you're getting to know the job, get to know the client then. And if it's good, parang okay yung client, okay yung work, and then okay. Pero kung kunyari gusto mo yung work, pero yung client medyo may off, or sa reviews niya may mga bad reviews, I think you should make the decision na ay wag na to. And kung takot ka naman, but feeling ko din po talaga nasa freelancer din talaga siya. But for our advice, yun nga, be cautious with who you work with.
I like that. Be cautious with who you work with. So, that is something that a lot of the newbies, yun nga, sabi ko nga, alam namin, pag minsan umaabot tayo sa time na gutom na. So, kahit ano na, okay na, kahit ano na, basta meron. But, yun nga, the problem with kahit ano na, I think that will only last. Pag pumayag ka sa isang client na terrible, sasabihin mo, titiisin mo yan. But after, let's say, 2 weeks, ano ka na, yung yung mararamdaman mo na yung hirap. So, be calm. Ang mahirap dyan yung to part ways with the client. That's another challenge that you have to go through, parting ways with the client. Nasubukan nyo na bang makipag-break up sa boyfriend, girlfriend, friend ninyo? Isn't it difficult? You can't just say goodbye, nagsawa na ako sa'yo, ayoko na sa'yo. You can't just say that.
Ano ba yung relationships ba?
Marami din nasubukan si Honey, wag mo siyang tatanungin.
but yeah, come to think of it. Yeah, come to think of it, ladies and gentlemen, ganyan nga kahirap ang mag-build ng relationship, because even if you cut ties with a client, you still have to maintain a relationship with that. If anything else, at least man lang yung image mo, wag ka iniingatan mo para hindi ka mabigyan ng negative review. At least man lang sana yun, right? So yeah, before na mapasubo ka pa sa client na medyo hindi ka nais-nais, you have to read between the lines and just be careful. Huwag kayong masyadong mabulag sa merong offer. Because if somebody has offered you a contract, there's bound to be someone else out there who will also offer you a contract. So have a little bit more confidence in yourself. And finally, Carl, what about you? Dito tayo muna sa aspect na getting multiple clients and also dismissing multiple clients as well. Finally, Carl, paano ka maging mabait sa pag-reject? Are there any specific words or ways that you can tell to your clients to, fuck off or dismiss them at least?
Sa case ko naman po, if ever multiple offers nga receive ko, ang una kong tinitignan is yung capacity ko, if ever kaya ko pa siyang i-handle. And case-to-case basis rin po kasi ito, depende sa niche mo, no? Kasi may mga niche tayo sa freelancing na kaya talaga nila 5, 10 clients sabay-sabay. May mga niche na gano'n. And then may mga niche talaga na at least 2 lang talaga yung maximum nila if ever. So ako, titignan ko sa capacity ko, and if ever dumating yung case na talagang meron lang existing 3 clients and then may dumating na magandang offer na pang 4th, nakita kong hindi siya pasok sa capacity ko, and ayokong magkaroon ng ma-compromise yung quality ng work ko for the other 3 clients, which is inaalagaan ko sila. One thing na ginagawa ko po is just being honest, no? Yun lang po siguro. One best way is just to be honest and tell your clients na already have 3 existing clients and no capacity na to accept further clients pa. So yun, kasi one advantage of that is um, retaining yung existing clients mo, which is I assume na swak sila sa personality mo since nare-retain mo sila. And then, hindi mako-compromise yung quality ng work.
That's a very good point. The kailangan yung attitude mo, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time where you need to use your Filipino attitude of being humble when rejecting clients. Dito tayo magaling eh. Dito tayo magaling sa pagiging humble, sa pagiging mabait. Diyan natin gamitin yan. If we are going to reject clients, we need to make them understand that it's just overwhelming for you. It's just too much for you. Hindi yung sa, ayoko sa'yo kasi mas mababa at merong mas mataas na offer dito. Hindi yung sa ganun. Don't shove it on their face because they are also human. Itong mga clients, for example, pag-offer ang pinag-uusapan natin, ladies and gentlemen, marami ring mga clients dyan who are just starting up their business. Naturally, their funds aren't that good. Right? Or they still do not see the value of hiring a virtual assistant. So yung budget nila that is dedicated for a person, hindi pa nila na-assess ng husto. So you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, pag minsan meron itong iba, hindi nila sinasadya na nag-lowball sa inyo. Hindi. When it comes to the funding, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be a bit more understanding and yun nga, i-apply natin yung pagiging Pilipino natin na mapagpasensya, maintindihin, mabait, yung mga yun. Okay. So let's move past that scenario, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go straight to our topic for today, juggling multiple jobs. Sabi nga ni Carl, there are other niches out there where you are okay to handle 10 clients. There are other niches out there where maximum is like 2 clients lang. Hindi mo pwedeng mahirap mag-handle ng maraming clients. But should you have multiple clients? The problem now is handling them. Dahil hindi porket fixed ang schedule ng isang client, pwede mong isingit yung isang client sa schedules because there are times when the client has to adjust his or her time. There are times when some tasks takes longer na mag-overtime ka. So that is kind of the biggest problem, how to juggle these multiple jobs. Pag meron ka na, sabihin mo nang meron ka ng 3 clients, how are you what are the problems that people get to encounter when they have multiple clients, Anna?
Sorry, nakamute. Sabi ko, yun talaga tanong mo sa akin. Sabi ko, mag-share ako kanina eh. Pero yun, na-experience ko din yan actually nung newbie ako na makakuha din ng multiple clients. So, ang nagiging solution ko dyan, ewan ko baka dito rin ako nakahilera sa paggawa talaga ng agency. Pero, hindi ko talaga tinatanggihan kapag pumapasok ang client. Pero, syempre, talagang chine-check ko yan kung gusto ko ba talaga tong client ka-work, kung okay ba yung mga task, kung matinubang kausap. Kasi minsan talaga, yun nga, gaya ng sabi kanina ni Reese, merong client na okay, pero hindi okay yung task. Meron namang task na okay, tapos yung client hindi, di ba? So ako talaga, nasaktuhan ko naman lahat na gusto ko yung client, gusto ko rin yung task. So later on, dun ko na naisip na teka, sayang kung bibitawan ko na kaya ko, kung hindi, kasi parang mga nakaabot ako ng 3 to 5 na clients. Sabi ko, sayang kung bibitawan ko yung isa dito. Kasi ano pa rin yun pasok pa rin sa banga para sa ekonomiya yan, di ba? Lalo na kung 5 ang anak mo. So, sabi ko, teka lang, isipin natin kung paano, di ba? So, naging advantage na naging coach din ako sa VAB. So, parang naisip ko, kailangan ko lang maghanap ng tao na marerelyan ko, na alam ko yung quality ng work, para ipasa ko yung ibang task na hindi ko kayang gawin. Kasi syempre, hindi sa dami ng ginagawa ko. Meron pa akong mga anak, meron pa akong chores, 'di ba? Ang hirap talagang mag time management talaga. Kahit anong sabihin mo, may time management diyan, mahirap pa rin. Pero 'yon. So hindi ko kakayanan na 24 oras trabaho dahil ano mo naman yung health mo, masasacrifice mo yung health mo. So yun, isip ko na mag-delegate. So nandyan yung asawa ko, naturuan ko din kung paano gawin. Andyan yung anak ko, na pwede ko rin turuan. So yan, nade-delegate ko yung mga ibang mga tasks. So ang ginawa ko din, kapag nagkukuha ko ng client sa Upwork, merong fixed price at merong per hour. Kasi hindi naman pwede din na mag-overlap yung oras mo. Kasi puro Upwork ang clients ko eh. So hindi pwede mag-overlap yung mga oras ng bawat clients. Kung sabihin natin may 40 hours ka sa isa, tapos may 30 ka sa isa, may 20 ka sa isa. So hindi pwedeng sabay-sabayan na gagawin mo. Dahil,
Tama.
syempre, tao ka talaga, di ba? So, dapat, talaga yan. 24 hours lang yung tracker. So, hindi rin pwedeng mag-overlap yan. So, naisip ko, yung iba na clients, kailangan naka-fixed price. So, para hindi kailangan na maggagamit ng tracker. Tapos yun, madedelegate mo nga sa ibang tao na hindi gagamit ng tracker mo. So, yun, minsan hinahire ako sa VAB, minsan yun nga, pinapasa ko sa friends ko or kaya dito sa asawa ko, sa anak ko. So yun, kaya na-handle ko talaga yung multiple clients. Lalo na ngayon na hindi talaga ako makapag-work talaga ng tutok kasi si Hana nang aagaw na ng laptop at nakikidot-dot na ng keyboard. So ngayon talaga, ang nangyari is yung meron akong existing na agency na merong tao na customer service. Aside from meron akong sariling client na for bookkeeping, meron din akong for transcription, merong mga gumagawa nun para sa akin. So, yun. Kaya talagang pasok sa banga lahat. Hindi talaga masasayangan. Kaya kailangan talaga mag-isip ka ng way para ma-handle mo yung multiple clients. Ngayon, kung hindi talaga carry, gaya na nga sabi ni Honey, kung takot ka, yun talaga. Sa umpisa, kailangan hinay-hinay lang muna. Pero ako kasi nag-umpisa ako, yun kasi talaga yung target ko. Hindi pwedeng mahinga ka sa isang client dahil na-experience ko na yan na mawala ng client na iisa, dalawa lang. Tapos kapag nawala sila ng sabay, edi kawawa ka. Kaya kailangan talaga, kung gusto mong maging freelancer at maging stable itong pagiging freelancer mo, kailangan talaga, kung hanggang kaya, i-push mo kung hanggang ilan ang kaya mong client na tanggapin. So yun, dala-dala.
Hindi, at least it's realistic. You know what, Ana, ang kagandahan kasi, at least inamin mo na, na sa experience mo, unang pasok mo pa lang, you weren't careful, basta sige lang, tanggap ka na lang ng tanggap. Nagkataon lang talaga na mabubuti yung mga clients na, multiple clients na napasok sa'yo. That's so nice. That's good experience. Honey, let me ask you, since isa ka rin sa mga multiple clients, isa rin itong si Honey, ladies and gentlemen.
Kaya yan ang 10.
Oo, nagsasampung clients yan ng sabay-sabay, ladies and gentlemen. So if a freelancer aspires to be you, Honey, what are the major concerns that a freelancer should be aware of when handling multiple clients?
Aware of, number 1, Facebook. Number 2, information over consumption. I don't believe in information overloading. I believe in information over consumption. So, yan. Number 3, Netflix. Number 4, kung anime lover kayo katulad ko, anime. Ayan, mga manga. Number 5, yung pagmumuni-muni mo that you feel like as if you're so busy pero you're just being a busy
my
body.
God. Yeah.
I don't believe that somebody can be so busy because anybody can make time for something. Like in a relationship, di ba? Kung mangliligaw si guy or si mangliligaw si guy, kahit gaano ka busy yan, gagawa yan ng paraan para lang mangligaw sa'yo.
Correct.
Hindi ako naniniwala na, busy ako. I can't see you, sorry. Yeah. So yun nga, there is no such thing as sobrang tabi, ay kinoko. Hindi, pero iba si Ana kasi nakita ko talaga yung yung situation ni Ana. Just kasi parang lang parang lagi lang kami diyan sa bahay nila eh. So, alam ko yung yung lagay niya. So, yan si Ana iba yan eh. So, bukod tanging busy talaga yan. Pero she makes time for me na bumawi ako sa
Siyempre.
So yes, you should be aware of these things and make sure na when you have multiple clients, kakayanin mo i-time block yung sarili mo. Do not multitask. So iniisip nyo porke maraming client kami nila Ana, nagmo-multitasking kami, ganyan. Kung kaya mo, sige, but then I don't recommend it because you'll be prone to mistakes and you don't want that. So instead you time block yourself. So that's also one of the things that you need to be aware of is your time blocking. And if you want to know more about time blocking, I suggest you read up about time blocking and then you discover for yourself. Huwag kayo lang magbasa and then you just copy what they say because it really depends on you. Talaga, it's your style. Kasi ako, sinubukan ko na halos lahat. Sige, sabihin natin, exaggerate yung lahat. But let's say, a lot of the time blocking techniques I tried, none of them worked for me. So, ayun nga, I made one for myself. So, make one for yourself. Basa kayo and then see which one will work. If it doesn't work, try a new one. Ayun.
Yeah. It's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Avoid the noise. Avoid the noise in your environment. Yan nga, yung social media, information overload, information overconsumption. That's really cool. That's correct. Yes, that's really it, ladies and gentlemen. Kasi marami naman dyan ng information kung tutusin eh, pero nasa sayo lang talaga if you consume it or not. It's like buffet. Nandiyan ang buffet and it's up to you kung sige lang maglalagay ka ng sangkatutak sa sa plate mo that you cannot handle or balance it. And yes, nakita ko ito, Ana. Yun nga, yung hayaan mo talaga na i-prioritize mo yung work mo. Wag yung ang dami mo pang rason. And you know what? Ang ganda ng kasi ang ganda ng sinabi ni Hani na yung nakatunganga ka na feeling mo busy ka but actually walang lumalabas. If ever you tell yourself that you are so busy that you don't have time for anything else, look at the outcome. Is the outcome really equal to your concept of busyness? Kasi kapag yung outcome, it balances, then yes, okay, you are busy. Pero kung outcome is maliit lang compared sa perception mo of your being busy 24/7, then it's just all in your head. So, yeah, that is the secret to handling 10 clients according to Honey. Dahil yun nga, experience na niya yan. Bago pa lang niya nalaman yung time blocking na yan, 10 clients na si Honey. And that is why she has to learn very, very quickly how to manage her clients. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, 10 clients na like $20 per hour yan. Hindi yan 10 clients na $4 per hour. So, yeah, yung mga sinasabi ni Honey, it's really worth your time, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to her. Okay, ipapasok ko ito kay Karl Mark. Sabi ni Jaynes Masangkay, when handling multiple clients, do you tell your client that you are delegating the task to other people?
In this case po kasi, based sa experience ko, I'm currently handling 3 clients for bookkeeping, yung niche ko. And malalaman mo kasi kung anong isasagot. Malalaman mo yung sagot dito during the interview and yung paano ka nakakapag-communicate along the way kay clients. Kasi may mga clients doon na based sa conversation nyo in an interview, parang specifically stated doon na kaya kita hinar based sa skills mo, skill set mo, and the experience mo. So technically, he is expecting you to do that on your own kasi based sa hiring process. And you have to respect that kasi if ever may magkakaroon ng problem. So in my case po, kaya sabi ko parang minamanage ko yung clients, number of clients ko kasi for bookkeeping sa akin personally po is ako lahat talaga gumagawa kasi during the interview pinakita ko ito skill set ko, ito experience ko, this is my background. So hinire nila ako dahil doon. So ako is parang out of hindi ko na rin siya parang iniisip na gawin pero yun, out of respect to my clients based sa interview namin and very blessed ako na to have those kind of client na napakabait, very flexible sa schedules and all. So, yun. Much better po if gagawin to answer yung specific question just be honest if ever. Yeah, kung darating doon sa point na yun, seek approval muna just in case, no. Pero yun yung magiging seek approval and then make sure yung quality ng work na ipo-provide ni someone na i-delegate mo is as much valuable na kaya mong i-provide as if na ikaw yung gumagawa.
I like that. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you need to develop that kind of skill din yung you try to replicate kung ano yung gawain ni client. Some of you could end up like ghost writers or some article writers or maybe notes sa show notes. Just like me, I used to write show notes. You have to study the style of your client so that you'll be able to emulate it. Hindi pwedeng malaman nila na ikaw yun. There are some clients who have that condition. So if you happen to be outsourced by a certain freelancer, as much as possible, you have to learn this specific freelancer's style para pag isasubmit niya yung trabaho mo, it'll sound like it's his or her work, not yours. So that's a very good tip. Yeah, that's a very good tip, Carl. Go ahead, Anna.
Yung kay Carl kasi, since bookkeeping yun, feeling ko mas tiwala siya sa sarili na siya yung gagawa. Pero ako naman sa part ko, kaya ako nade-delegate ko and hindi ko sinasabi sa client ko. Kasi yung mga task, like halimbawa, magta-transfer lang from PDF to Word, ganyan. So alam ko lang yung quality ng work nung gagawa. Tapos hindi na kailangang i-mention kay client kasi yung kay Carl kasi medyo confidential kasi financial statements, bookkeeping, yan yung mga medyo mahirap talagang mag-delegate yan. Pag nagkamali, si Carl ang delikado. So yung sa akin, mga tipong mga PDF file, mga Word, ganyan, ayan yung mga nade-delegate ko yan. So madaling-madali lang pwedeng i-delegate and hindi na kailangang i-inform si client. Or otherwise, kapag nagkamali, ako rin yung sasagot. So, kaya kailangan talaga na monitor ko din yung gawa and na-double check ko before submission. Like transcription, may mga transcription din ako ng mga clients. Iba na lang gumagawa nun para sa akin kasi medyo time-consuming ang pagta-transcribe. Tapos, meron din akong bookkeeping, although siya yung pinapakausap ko directly. Tapos, meron din akong client na talagang alam niya na dinedelegate ko. So, merong hindi, merong alam na dinedelegate ko. So, yun.
I personally wouldn't say so. Personally, it's none of their business if I am delegating my tasks to other people. It is none of their business. What their concern is the quality of work. Kung yung quality of work is the same as expected, then it shouldn't matter whether it came personally from me, directly from me, or from other freelancers whom I delegated to. So it's none of their business. Para sa akin na, Janice. And the thing is, kailangan mo rin naman kasing tignan, i-assess mo before submitting that work. You have to, since ikaw itong nagde-delegate, it is your job to make sure that quality yung binigay sa'yo. Hindi yung porket binigay sa'yo tapos ipapasa mo lang sa client mo and then pagpalpak sasabihin mo na, ay hindi kasi pinasa ko yung work doon sa isang freelancer. You cannot say that. That is an excuse and that is bullshit and you should be disqualified. You should be fired for doing that because that is very irresponsible. But in my opinion, Janice, it is none of their business kung i-delegate mo yung task. So, you don't have to. Meron kasi yung iba na na inuusisan nila inuusisan nila yung parang did you are you outsourcing? Pag sasabihin nila na ganon, if they ask you that, para sa akin, I usually say no. Yeah, I usually say no. What you got, the work that you got from me is from me. Now, it's your responsibility to make sure na yun nga, yung sabi ni Carl, nagbumukhang galing nga sa'yo talaga yung task na yun. Because otherwise, pag sasabihin mo na, hindi, kaya iba yan, kaya wrong spelling kasi pinagawa ko sa ibang tao, then, well, that's not the client's fault. You wasted their time and their expectations, and para sa akin, I would cross you out already kapag ganyan ka. That's very irresponsible. But yeah, magkakaiba tayo ng opinion when it comes to this. Anna, ang gusto kong sagutin mo kasi ito. What do you think is the best platform? What do you think is the best platform to work as a freelancer?
Ako kasi, nung nag-start ako talaga Upwork na, doon ako swerte talaga sa mga clients. So for me, yun ang best platform para sa akin. Although maraming nagsasabi na, yun nga, may fee kasi si Upwork. Imbis na buo mo makukuha, merong pang bawas, 'di ba? Ako naman ang ano ko doon, ang thinking ko doon is yun yung fee na binabayad ko para sa safety ko. Kasi merong contract between you and the client. So safe na safe ka, hindi ka na mag-worry kung babayaran ka ba o hindi. Hindi mo na iisipin kung made-delay ba si client sa pagbabayad, 'di ba? Kasi naka-budget na talaga ako eh. So alam ko every Friday, yung mga sahod lalabasan ng Friday pag pag top rated kasi Friday na 'di ba yung sahuran, hindi na Wednesday. So alam ko na agad na 'yan ang sahuran. So yun ang best platform sa akin Pero merong maraming may mga students na nakakakuha sa OLJ, mga direct clients. So, iba-iba. So, ako, hanapin mo kung saan ka swerte at iyon ang magiging best platform para sa'yo. Ako, Upwork. So, yun ang sagot ko.
Oh, wow. That's a very beautiful question. That's a very beautiful answer, Miss Anna. Yes.
Thank you for that wonderful question.
That's a beautiful answer. Kasi totoo naman, pag minsan pag sinerte ka dun sa OLJ, then OLJ is the website for you. Pag minsan yung ibang mga websites, then it is good for you. Tignan nyo naman, Fiverr Fiverr used to be just this $5, kaya nga Fiverr kasi $5 projects lang ito. It used to be something that pinaglalaroan lang ng hindi pa nga seriously freelancers parang laruan lang, and yet people stuck to it kasi doon nila nakuha yung mga gigs nila, yung mga contracts nila na magaganda. So do not underestimate any walang mas maganda at mas pangit na platform dyan. Kung saan ka swinerte, yun talaga ang best para sa'yo. That's a very nice answer, Anna. Let me address this very quickly dahil malapit na tayo sa oras. Sabi na, how about the data privacy of the client? How about the data privacy of the client? Just keep it private. Keep it private. Kaya nga meron tayong mga pinipirmahan ng mga NDA and stuff like that. You have to be very respectful because if that happens to you, syempre ikaw rin problema. So as much as possible, anything that is private, it is theirs. Whatever their business is, it is their business. Okay? Now let me go straight to Reese. Reese, why not answer this topic for today, juggling multiple jobs. What should new freelancers need to know when it comes to juggling multiple jobs? Wait, naka. Reese, we can't hear you.
Hello po.
There you go. Okay.
There. So as I mentioned po, from my experience, I never really handled like the same with Miss Honey or Miss Anna na 5 to 10 or more clients. I'm also just a beginner. I just started last year. So the maximum I handled was really 2. So I think for me, what you really need to know before jumping into handling multiple clients is really assess yourself. Parang, is it for you? Parang, I guess for me, before I jumped into it, kasi nga, I guess a beginner, parang minsan, depende din sa sitwasyon mo eh. Kasi kung nga, tama, kung kailangan mo ng pera, yung mindset mo can be, kaya ko to, but it's different when you're in there already. Like for me, parang dun sa corporate job ko, I was having zero savings. So yung thinking ko talaga, ay pag nag-freelancer ako, kaya ko part-time, full-time, as long as hindi nag-overlap, kaya ko to, or more clients, project, ganyan. But when I jumped into it, parang na-realize ko na I'd rather have one quality job that pays me well and is able to cover like my expenses the same as my wants. Because right now I only have one job right now because that's what I realized. But it could also have been a different experience if I had a nicer client. Because as I shared on my interview last Wednesday, the client I had was very toxic and very demanding, and it could have been different. Kung nice yung client, ang dali lang ng work eh. Kaya ko siyang i-handle. So I guess yun nga, for beginners, my advice is before you jump into handling a lot of projects, I guess ask yourself like how many hours a day can I spend working without feeling completely drained. Kasi also like what Miss Anna shared, depende din kasi sa situation mo. If you're a mom of let's say 5, you have to allot time for that. It goes back to what Miss Honey said earlier. You have to know your time blocks. Dapat may time blocks ka for your work, may time blocks ka for your responsibilities or other things you would like to do. So dapat alam mo yun, inaayos mo yun, and as much as possible, try to follow those time blocks. Disiplina na din siya para hindi nga kalat-kalat yung work mo. And I think this is what I learned also. Since my client was very demanding, I learned that if you are into handling multiple projects, communication is very important. I mean, setting boundaries in terms of communication. I guess it's setting that up as early as you signing the contract with your client. Parang mag-set ka ng boundary na let them know lang na this is the time I can or cannot reply to you. Something like that. Or ask them, when are we supposed to communicate? Is this like a daily thing? Am I just expected to like give you updates? Will you always be messaging me? Set boundaries. Kasi other clients wouldn't know their boundaries. And my past client was like that. 24 hours, he would message me. So as early as that, dapat alam nyo na, the client and you, alam nyo na kung ikaw din mismo, kung kailan mo siya pwedeng i-message at hindi. Kaya mag-agree na lang kayo on a specific time na you both can communicate. And I guess yun nga, bumabalik pa rin kasi talaga sa, depende yan sa freelancer. If you wanna do this, if you're ready for it, or are you mentally, emotionally, physically prepared? Parang prepared ka ba before you jump into it? Kasi at the end of the day, parang you're the only one who knows your limit, diba? Parang you would be the only one who to know when too much is too much, and you have to respect that. Kasi if like you won't respect yourself or know your limits, mapapagod ka eh. And if pagod ka na, sino pa mag-work for you? It's just your body. So you need to take care of yourself. Yourself is just as important as handling a lot of clients. Unahin mo yung sarili mo. So I think that's for me before jumping into that.
I love that. Especially the setting the boundaries, ladies and gentlemen. Dahil dyan tayo medyo nahihirapan. Medyo nahihirapan eh. Dahil tayo kasi mga Pilipino, matiisin yung tinitiis natin, hanggang sa pag hindi na kaya, saka na lang tayo bibitaw. Communication is the key. Sabi nga ni Miss Reeves, you have to communicate with them. You have to stipulate that what they're doing is not good. And also, you have to learn how to say no. Dahil time blocking, if you want to respect your time, you need to manage it. Therefore, pag sinabi na katulad nga ng sabi ni Reese that you have to follow it, you really have to follow it, and you have to apply it in off work as well. So ultimo yung entertainment, time with your family, you also have to be able to manage that. But with that comes along the ability to say no. You have to, sometimes meron ka mga friends na sasabihin na, uy, bakante ko sa Sabado, sali ka, birthday ko, blah, 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 and stuff like that. If you really cannot manage to go there, you have to learn how to decline. Hindi yung alang-alang sa pagkikisama isasakripisyo mo yung time mo na supposed to be dedicated for something that is important. That is, you have to learn how to say no, and you can say no in a nice way. You can say no in a not so nice way if you want to. Buhay mo yan. But you just need to be able to say no to some extent. Okay. May nagsabi dito, which is a good segue. Sabi ni Mubashir Ahmed, hey, I want to join your courses, Mubashir from India. Anna, how about you respond to this? Nakamute ka, Anna.
Good job, be. Nakamute ka.
Oo, may sinabi pang nakakatawa.
Oo nga, sabi ko i-push na natin to, kaya lang hindi ako magi-English, Tagalog lang. Sabay ganun. Teka lang, bakit nawala? Bloopers. Ano ba? Huwag kayong tumawang dalawa, babatukan ko kayo. Ayan, announcements. Ayan, for Wednesday, September 22, 5:30 p.m., interview with Nisa Jean Opsema, former network marketer and ESL tutor, now a VA and a podcast manager yan. 5:30 p.m. yan sa September 22. At meron tayong upskill. Level up your learnings, elevate your earnings. Ayan, how to convert your writing skill into a career that pays sa September 25 to 7 to 9 p.m. with Joey Morales. Ayan. Ay, bayad pala to. Paid webinar siya, so bayad ka lang ng $199 para maka-join dito sa ating upskill na webinar. And para sa ating next topic for next week, September
Sandali nga,
27.
Ana, can you go back to Joey's upskill?
Yes.
Is this permanent already? 199 kasi last Wednesday.
99 lang pala, oo.
Yeah.
99 lang. Carmi pa bago.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, 99 pesos only, so join na kayo. And ang topic natin for next Monday ay essential tools and platforms newbie freelancers need to learn. Yung kaninang na-mention ni Phoenix, kailangan aralin nyo, huwag nyo siyang gayahin. Ayaw nyo aralin yung mga tools na mahihirap. So yan, ayan ang topic natin for next Monday. At how to find your first client. Sa October 2, 7 p.m. Free webinar to with Jason. So sign up ka lang sa vab.ph/new client to. Bakit? Okay, sige. Huwag natin pakialaman. 7 p.m. to, October 2. How to find your first client. Part 2 to nung webinar ni Jason last week. So, yan. Bangan nyo yan sa October 2. And meron tayong upskill webinar din for October 9 with Anthony Meneses, web design and development essentials. Sunod-sunod O kaya, 99 pesos din to. So, sign up na rin kayo dyan. At yung sa kanina nagtatanong, you want to join our courses, punta ka lang sa vabootcamp.ph/enroll. Lifetime access na to. We have 4 packages. Ayan magpapa-English ako. Skills package, $3,990. Get hired package, $4,990. Accelerated package, $7,990. At ang ating complete package naman ay $19,990. Tapos we have individual courses, Better English for Online Success and Getting Started with Blogging, $1,490 each. Tapos, $2,990 naman yung bookkeeping and QuickBooks for beginners, email marketing mechanics, freelance writing for beginners, SEO, the way Google likes it, social media for business management and marketing websites, 101, WordPress and HTML, e-commerce virtual assistants. Ayan. At ang ating bagong course na time management and productivity course, $2,990 din. Punta lang sa vabootcamp.ph/shop. Tapos, may free courses din tayo. Punta lang sa vabootcamp.ph/free courses, virtual assistance, SEO for beginners, social media management, e-commerce virtual assistance, intro to next level freelancing, intro to lead generation, email marketing, better English, bookkeeping, web design, and writing. At meron pa ring 10-day cover letter writing challenge na 500 pesos lang. Punta lang sa vab.ph/cover letter challenge. And that's all, folks.
Ayan. So, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't enrolled in our courses yet, I definitely encourage you to take a look at least at our free courses. The free courses will already help you. Please, kayo mga newbies na gusto nyong bigyan namin kayo ng client agad-agad and you are disappointed that we are not doing that. I want you to take a look at our free courses first, because by then, pag na-browse ninyo or meron kayong natutunan doon, at least we will be able to communicate in a certain language that both of us will understand. I don't want to be speaking about rope or AIDA na hindi ninyo alam kung ano yung AIDA, ano yung rope, right? I want you to at least be aware of what we are talking about, para iisa lang ang sistema natin. Even to those of you who already have clients and aspire still to look for more clients, and for those of you who are struggling to find your niche, kung gusto nyong mag-niche down and you're still struggling to find that, I encourage you to take a look at our website, dyan sa free courses at least. Start there. Start sa free courses. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for that, for those reminders. Ayan, panel, let me ask you what are your final words. If there are any advertisements that you'd like to say, so say it now. And kung meron kayong ipapa-shoutout. Let me start with the pinakamaaga natin, si na kinaladkad lang ni Ana, si Miss Honey.
Unahin ang kinaladkad.
Yung biglaan kinaladkad.
Yes, sige na. At nagpakaladkad naman.
Malambot yung puso ko sa'yo. So anyway,
Magagawa naman.
so to all the newbie freelancers that want to go into freelancing and try to close multiple clients, my piece of advice is to have that mental capacity and that mental strength that you can really handle those kinds of clients. And so I wanna piggyback on what Reese mentioned earlier. Yung boundaries is very important because as Nick said, we're very timid and soft and yes man tayo.
Oh yeah.
We have so much for to ourselves that we can offer, and one thing na masasabi ko about us being that kind of yes man is because we don't really value ourselves and we don't really love ourselves. We actually nami-mistreat nga natin yung sarili natin. If you guys talk to yourselves, like you made a mistake, the tendency is you put yourself down, you go, ang tanga-tanga ko, so something like that.
Oh yeah.
That is something that you have to avoid doing, especially if you are going to do several clients. Chances are you will make mistakes. I have made mistakes too, having more clients than I can even handle. Kaya nga nag-agency kami ni Ana eh. So ayun, if you do not have that kind of mental strength in you, you will break down and easily, and then you will disappear and dissolve. So kung kakayanin nyo talaga, you have to be prepared for that. And it is something that I also want to start offering to freelancers is the mind strengthening as a freelancer. It's not easy going through this journey and then napaka feeble. Sorry to use for lack of better word, pero I'll just say feeble yung mind mo. And madali kayong breakdown with critical feedback from clients, or you know, if you know that you did a mistake, madali kayong ma-discourage. So build that up. It's not something that you build overnight. Rome was not built in a day. But it is something that you can learn. So wag kayong mawalan ng pag-asa. Keep going, but strengthen your mind. And speaking to people that have gone ahead in the freelancing industry, would also encourage you to move forward as long as you are willing to change and adapt. Okay, so the only constant thing, remember, is change. So yun lang.
I love that. Anything to advertise, Andy, today? Honey?
Yeah, so yung mga upskill seminars na yun, or webinars, I will be one of those people in October.
Ayun.
Oh my goodness, this is exciting. Now, watch out, ladies and gentlemen, pag si Honey itong magpapa-upskill dahil I am hoping na i-record ninyo kasi I am for sure with Honey's style of speaking, ladies and gentlemen, sa isang sentence pa lang marami ng key na dapat mong iput to heart kasi And Honey is this person who is very, very careful with words. And therefore, pag kayo naman ito magsalita, parang very meticulous din naman siya. She chops it down, breaks it down, and has to determine a specific meaning of every word that you are saying. At ganon din siya. So if you want to practice that kind, I strongly recommend to watch out for Miss Honey's upskill webinar. Ay, very, very nice. May pa-shoutout ka, Honey?
That's my bad.
Hello to my Social Collaboratives agency team members kung nandito sila. I didn't tell them na nandito ako.
Paano masasabi biglaan niya?
Pero normally pag gaganito ako, nagkahakot yan. So,
Ikaw nga, hindi mo alam na nandito ka eh. Sila pa kaya.
Teka, anong ginagawa ko dito?
Kita mo na.
Na-teleport na lang si Honey dito. Well, thank you very much for teleporting here.
Thank you,
Miss
Mom.
Honey, buti naman at nandito ka. I love great input as usual, and we hope to have you again next time. Sana naman si Ana bigyan ka ng at least one more extra minute bago na.
1 minute.
One more extra
Sige,
minute
next
para
time,
may konting preparation.
Hindi na seconds, be. Minute
Sanay
na.
na ako dyan.
Thank you very much.
All right, Carl, what about you? Final words, advertisement, and shout out.
Siguro final word, sirs, na pwede kong ma-share is, hindi ko alam kung mag-agree lahat, pero may napanood ko isang video sa YouTube na sinasabi lang, hindi talaga nag-exist si time management. When we say daw time management, we actually mean managing yourself in what you do. Sabi niya ganyan. So, not sure if ano magiging take niya, pero very, very important pa rin, either way, na in terms dun sa topic natin, juggling multiple jobs, no? So, one of the most important things siguro for me is yung attitude natin towards work. And another thing would be how to learn to prioritize according to importance, urgency, yung mga tasks at mga ginigive sa atin ni clients, especially kung multiple jobs talaga. And then another thing would be siguro as a freelancer, natutunan ko moving from a corporate job is as much as possible, consider this as a business. Consider this as you're working with your client, not for your client, kumbaga. So, ganun yung nagiging mindset ko ngayon. And then, nagiging fruitful naman. So, hindi lang ako basta pumapasok from ganitong shift to shift. I'm also parang genuinely concerned about the business, especially nasa finance ako. Nakikita ko talaga yung performance and status ng company. And masayang maging ganun yung mindset natin as a partner ni client. And last one siguro as encouragement, sabi sa Bible, no? Delight yourself in the Lord and He will give you the desire of your heart. So for all the freelancer, especially beginners, aspiring freelancer na gusto mag-land ng multiple clients, yan, faith lang and work, and eventually time will come na magkakaroon rin kayo ng mga multiple clients.
That's nice. That's very good advice. Carl, meron ka pang ipapa-advertise or shout out?
Okay lang po ba siya outside siya sa ano? Or
Sige lang.
Or... okay, sige. Anything, okay, sige. Shout out, hindi ko alam kasi, yung mga nanonood na friends ko sa Facebook, punta kayo sa profile ko, then pakilike naman ng mga page na sinishare ko. Please support para mag-grow ko yung Facebook page. Yan, and yan, thank you po for the opportunity.
Mag-upskill webinar ka din, Carl, ng bookkeeping para dumami.
Oh, yeah.
Carl,
yeah.
invite si Carl.
Parang wala pa yan. Matagal
Wala
na ako naghahanap yan dati sa VAB. Ayan na.
Yeah.
Si Carl na ang sagot.
Bookkeeping is quite in demand. Maraming mga tahimik na pero hinahanap nila ang what's in bookkeeping. Carl, if you can manage to create a webinar, how about you wrap your head around it? See if you can find a concept that you can talk about. And hingi ka na lang ng ng mga tips kay kina Ana, kina Hani, itong mga batido nang nagbibigay ng mga webinar, and it may seem very complicated at start, pero once na ginawa mo, it's not really that difficult. Parang freelancing din ang pagwe-webinar na nagmumukhang complicated lang, but actually if you do it, it's easy and it's fun. So think about it, Carl. I strongly encourage you to do that. Para
I'll help
naman
you
may
present.
contribution to that.
Ayun naman pala eh.
And project.
Paki-PM si Bahani. Now na.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. So this is why we have here so that we can make connections. Eto, ladies and gentlemen, is another example of making connections. Making connections is not just blah and blah. Tapos yung magtatanong ka kung meron silang work na i-offer o hindi. Making connections is making use of what other people can offer you. It's hindi lang yung kailangan mo. Sometimes you will end up finding people who will serve you in a different way that you actually need it. Meron sa atin ito mga hindi natin alam, kailangan pala natin. Just like these two. So there you go.
Parang kami ni Hani, konektado.
Yeah.
Sobrang konektado.
Konektado.
Who knows? Dito mo mahahanap ang best friend mo, soulmate mo, boyfriend mo, girlfriend mo. I mean, basta
Partner
connect lang ng connect kasi. Make connections. Don't be like me who's living like a hermit na,
Yes,
na
don't
nakakulong.
be like Phoenix.
Sabi, kilala ako dito mga to. Especially itong dalawang ito, kilala nila, alam nila. I live like a hermit, like just like a turtle. Ganyan lang talaga ako. But yeah, anyway. Thank you very much for that, Carl. I hope that you get to join us again some other time. And yun nga, I strongly encourage that you consider doing a webinar. Kasi sayang yung knowledge mo. You happen to love numbers, and mas maganda yung yung mga kagaya mo na passionate to your work ang magsasalita about accounting. So, bookkeeping, I mean to say. So, yeah,
Manunod
that's
ako
good.
niyan, Carl.
Hindi katulad ni Ana, ayaw niya ng bookkeeping.
Ayoko niyan.
Accountant
na.
yan, pero ayaw niya ng bookkeeping. So, hindi dapat
Kaya ayoko na mag-bookkeeping. Ayaw niya sa akin, ayoko na rin sa kanya.
So, all right. Finally, Miss Reese, your turn. What's the biggest take that you can give to our audiences? Is there, if there's anything you'd like to advertise, and kung meron kang ipapa-shout out, now is the time.
Yun po. For me, I guess my final words really is just really take care of yourself. Kasi nga, kung hahayaan mo lang yung self mo, sinong magwo-work for you? Like, for me, it just goes back to self-care is really the number one thing na you should be looking after. Talagang know your limits, like set boundaries between work and your personal life, and respect yourself then, respect your needs. And as I shared earlier, parang make sure you're ready, mentally ready, because you're preparing your mind for a new situation, especially if you're a beginner. Transitioning from the corporate world to freelancing is a totally different thing. And others may think, yung mga hindi freelancing would think na, ay, madali lang yan, freelancing, you're just at home. But they don't really realize it's just as hard as the corporate world. And sometimes they don't even realize it's even harder to find clients when you're freelancing. So, ayun, just know na mas mahirap din siya sometimes sa corporate world. So, yun din. Some may think it's easy because you're just at home, but others don't realize na yung mga freelancer is nahihirapan na silang mag-set ng boundaries between your work and your personal life. Kasi wala talagang anytime pwede mo lang buksan yung computer mo and just work. So, make sure you respect your personal time as well. And ayun, dapat emotionally ready ka din kasi as a beginner, you will experience a lot of hardships or struggles. As a freelancer, mahirapan kang maghanap ng clients, you will fail a lot of times. So dapat marunong kang mag-handle ng emotions mo. How you handle your emotions is very important. And syempre, dapat physically ready ka din, as mentioned, kasi nga dapat hindi mahina yung katawan mo Other than working, especially if you're handling a lot of work, mabigat na yun draining na yun What more kung after nun is you still have your family, your other responsibilities, and you still have other things you want to do. So it just goes back to taking care of yourself. Tapos if you really realize na it's not for you, then it's okay, wag mong ipilit. Like, just find work, one quality full-time work that pays you well. And as long as covered naman yung mga expenses mo, yung mga needs mo, wala kang kailangan mag-worry. Kasi wala kang kailangan mag-worry. Just focus on your work. And ayun, just know na mas mahirap din siya sometimes sa corporate world. So make sure you're ready. Mentally ready ka din. And as long as covered naman yung mga expenses mo, yung mga needs mo, wala kang kailangan mag-worry. 'di ba, okay na yun eh. Huwag ka nang parang maghangad, huwag ka nang masayangan. As long as nabubuhay ka, okay na yun. Pero kung yung capacity mo naman is kaya mo pang mag-handle ng more work, go for it. And ayun nga, if one work ka lang now and then you realize sometime na parang ay ready na ako, and then go, push mo na siya. So yun, I think that's my final words po. And for the shout out, I have friends watching right now, so I want to say hi to Kent, Mark, Edmond, and CJ. Tapos, for anything I want to promote, nothing naman. For those who want to follow me on Instagram na lang din po, it's Reese Mariamla. And yeah, thank you again for having me. I was just here, I guess 5 days ago, but yeah, I'm here again. So thanks for the opportunity po again, Sir Phoenix, Miss Anna, and Miss Honey.
Thank you, Riz. Kaya ako napa-lipstick dahil sa'yo. Sabi ni Honey, bakit ka naka-lipstick? Ang ganda kaya ni Riz, magmumukha akong yaya kapag na ako naka-lipstick ngayon.
Sabi ko, buti nagsuklay ako kasi ako nakasuklay eh.
So, ikaw ang reason, Riz, kung bakit ako naka-lipstick. Yun talaga.
Kasi lipstick. Nako, no. Lipstick and
Kaya-
Anna don't get along.
Kinakain ko talaga ang lipstick. Pero dahil sa'yo, nanindigan ako.
Naka-pressure po naka-pressure po
Oo.
may mga viewers.
Kasi sabi ko, ang ganda ni Riz ka lang makapag-lipstick. Nasa loob na daw sila ng StreamYard, di ko muna inoon. Sabi ko, naku, kailangan mag-lipstick. Yun talaga.
Oh my
Ang
gosh,
totoo.
man.
Tapos si
Oo
Carl.
nga eh. May naisip nga ako kanina while Reese was speaking. Reese, you have this potential to become the next face of the next
Kaya
generation,
nga,
ah?
ang
The next
beautiful
face
ko
of
eh.
of freelancing.
Mahal ka nga
So
sa you.
Ay,
Yeah.
grabe.
It-
Malit po kasi ako eh.
Ay, maliit ka.
it doesn't
Kaya naman yan sa heels.
Small but terrible. Did you know, Dynamite?
parang si Honey, small but terrible.
Oo, kami ni Honey 4'11".
Hindi. Dati ako,
Five ka ba? I'm sorry, 4'11 ako. Sorry. Dinamay kita sa pagiging 4'11 ko. Pero hindi naman mukhang maliit si Riz.
You do, Reese. Personally speaking, you do have the potential to become the next face of freelancing. Kaya the way, you have a beautiful mind. You have
manager
your
mo,
ways of
Reese.
articulating your.
So, parang
Yeah.
mag-artista.
Ayan. Mag-handle na
So
ka rin.
I strongly encourage that you expose yourself on video. Yeah. Who knows, you could be the next Honey. Dahil si Honey, maganda rin ang journey din niya sa freelancing. You could be the next Honey, Miss Reese. And it doesn't hurt that you look good as well. So, so yeah, keep on doing what you are doing, and I strongly encourage that you show yourself. Di ba, may Instagram ka? Ladies and gentlemen, follow her, check her out. Tignan nyo if you were inspired
Sige,
by
pa-follow
any
kita,
of these people.
Ay, sige po.
Yan, si Anna, si Reese, si
We
Honey,
will
si
follow.
Carl. If you find them inspiring, go ahead and check them out. Yung sabi ni Carl, whatever page he is promoting, go ahead and check it out as well. It just takes that small step, ladies and gentlemen, to encourage people to talk more and be more inspirational. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, kaming mga inspirational speakers, we also need to be inspired by you. By as simple as go and check them out, message them, send messages of thanks. It's just that small thing, ladies and gentlemen. Wala namang mawawala sa inyo if you're going to do that. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to reach out to our panel today and just communicate. Yan nga, make connections as we always say. Anna, meron ka bang may dadagdag?
Sabi na nila lahat, pero yun, para sa mga newbie na na-overwhelm pa
Pero
rin.
ka pa rin masasabi.
Oo, may masasabi pa rin ako. Teka lang. Uulitin ko lang yung sinabi nyo. Teka lang. Sa mga newbie na
Recap ko, be.
na-overwhelm. Recap. Sa mga na-overwhelm, kasi yung iba, di ba, yun nga, nahihirapan maghanap ng first client. Pero eventually, yun nga, kailangan lang talaga hanapin nyo yung best platform for you, like sinabi ko kanina. Hindi porket yung isa sa amin nakahanap sa Upwork, pipilit mo yung sarili mo sa Upwork, hindi ka naman gusto ni Upwork, di ba? Marami
Yeah.
naman dyang mga iba't ibang platforms. Pwede ka rin mag-Facebook, pwede ka rin sa IG, pwede sa LinkedIn. So, maraming ways to find clients. Tapos, kapag nakahanap ka na ng first client, yun, wag mong i-push yung sarili mo na maghanap pa muna, kundi aralin mo muna kung paano talaga yung nag-work ang freelancing kung newbie ka pa lang. Gamayin mo muna, maging steady ka muna sa isang client, and then later on, kapag alam mo na yung capacity mo to handle another client, then go. Gaya nga sabi kanina ni Reese, kung sapat naman na yung first client mo para sa expenses mo, edi sige. Pero kung feel mo, kaya mo pa na dagdagan, and then later on, dagdag pa ulit ng dagdag. Then, mag-create ka din ng way para makapag-delegate, para meron ka pa ring time para sa sarili mo, para sa health mo, para sa pamilya mo, 'di ba? Kasi hindi pwedeng puro work ka lang din kasi ma-burnout ka din yan later on. So kailangan allot ka rin ng time para sa sarili mo, hindi puro lang din pera kasi baka mamaya kulang pa yung perang kinikita mo para sa kalusugan mo, 'di ba? So 'yon, lahat ng mga tips ng mga guests, i-follow nyo lang din. At yun, hindi kayo magkakamali dyan. Kung saan kayo best dun sa mga sinabi ng guest, yun ang sundin nyo. Hindi naman porket kailangan, marami akong client, kailangan marami ka din. Si Honey, marami, dadamihan mo pa, di ba? Hindi naman yung competition. Yung sarili mo lang ang intindihin mo kung saan ka komportable, yun ang i-push mo. Okay? Sige.
Wow, I love what you said there, Miss Anna. This is not a competition. It is never a competition, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling nyo kasi yung nakikipag-compete kayo against other freelancers, but even to us, ladies and gentlemen, you will eventually compete against us kung yun din ang iniisip ninyo. So, would that affect you? Aatras ba kayo porket nandito rin kami na nag-a-apply din, nang aagaw ng mga trabaho ninyo? If you think that way, you are purposefully defeating yourself. Kasi this is not a competition. It's one of the reasons why we try to encourage you to keep on going on and on and on and on, because it is never a competition. If you want the sense of competition, then compete against yourself. Kasi kung sa mga kapwa freelancers ka din lang naman nakikipag-compete, parang yung aspirations mo is for them, it's not for you. So that's a very beautiful thing that Anna reminded us of. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, juggling multiple jobs, what new freelancers need to know. Here are three things that I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to challenge yourselves with. The first thing is the most common thing that we say. Know your why. What is your why? What is your biggest why? You have to know that in everything that you do in freelancing, whether you are having a hard time or you are having a good time, you always have to remind yourself, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you striving for greatness? Why are you trying to be better as a freelancer? The next thing is, I want you to forget about money. Money, the demand for money will always be there. Lahat po tayo, kahit si Ana, si Hani, mga multiple clients, $50 per hour pag pinsan ang mga nagagawa. Well, I'm exaggerating there, but you know what I mean. Pero yun nga, ladies and gentlemen, the demand of money will always be there. So how about you forget about it, because it is already a need by default. So it is not a good reason. It is not a good reason for you to push yourself in achieving your biggest why. How do you do that? The third thing is to know your boundaries. Yung sinabi ni Miss Reese. To me, yung non-negotiables, that is my term, the non-negotiables. You have to determine the non-negotiables. Like, it's non-negotiable that you have to sleep at 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. It's non-negotiable that you will sleep for 6 hours. It's non-negotiable that you have to take care of your kid from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Yung mga yun ang mga non-negotiables. But this is all up to you. Nasa sa inyo kung ano yung mga non-negotiables ninyo. Now, by putting all those three, ladies and gentlemen, there is where you will have a little sense of security when dealing with your clients, because you need to keep those in mind whenever you are going to say yes to a client or no to a client. At least meron kang foundation sa sarili mo, meron kang paninindigan, and it'll give you a bit more confidence on how you speak to your clients, whether you are going to accept them or not. That is how you juggle multiple jobs, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.